Hello everyone, my name is Alexander O'Donnell, and today I will be covering with you guys why we should all make the switch to a vegetarian diet. First off, vegetarian diets are more ethically conscious than that of meat-centric diets. Switching over to vegetarianism will reduce your economic wear, and a vegetarian diet has numerous health benefits over that of a meat-centric diet. After we discuss these aspects of vegetarianism, we will cover and debunk a few common myths about vegetarianism and go over a few plans of action to get you guys to make a switch or to consider a switch or a reduction in your consumption of meats. So first up is the ethical dilemma that we face when we talk about meat-centric diets. According to the North American Vegetarian Society, a website which is cited by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, living conditions in factory farms are cramped without fresh air or sunlight, sanitary conditions are poor, there's unrestrained movement of the animals contained within them, and natural animal behavior and interactions pretty much cease to exist, and animals are often force-fed in them because they don't get a lot of activity, so therefore they don't have an appetite. These conditions can lead to a high rate of premature death in animals due to stress, disease, and even heart attack. So obviously factory farms, they're places where high amounts of meat are produced and then shipped out to supermarkets in your towns. So they are places where animals are grown for harvesting, but besides the fact that they're already there to be slaughtered or butchered, an excess amount of death is obviously something that is ethically and morally not right. So, moving on, these factory farms pose a huge environmental impact. They have a huge environmental impact. They are the second leading cause of pollution, according to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, losing only to energy production. 18% of all greenhouse gas emissions are caused by methane from bovine fecal matter from cow farms, factory farms. And two-thirds of agricultural land used for livestock feed and growing, this land destroys the earth and consumes a lot of water in the growth of these animals. Third on the list is the health benefits of a vegetarian diet. Studies cited by the NIH correlate red meat consumption and processed meat with type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, which is the #1 killer cause of death in the United States, and certain cancers, namely colon cancer. And the World Health Organization puts out guidelines for a healthy diet, which include limiting processed meat and red meat, and suggests lean meats with good fats like salmon, and recommends a majority of foods to be fruits and non-starchy vegetables. So now that we've covered the three main aspects of why switching to vegetarianism is a good idea for you guys, we're going to debunk some myths about vegetarianism. So first is that a vegetarian diet will not provide you with the protein for a nutritious and balanced diet. But that's not true. Protein is found in eggs, yogurt, beans, nuts, quinoa, tofu, and even some leafy greens. So we really don't need an excess of protein. Just about 5.5 ounces a day is a good amount of protein for someone who's not overly physically straining themselves. But if you are in the gym a lot, there are food supplements, protein powders you can take, or you can up your intake of nuts and eggs, or even dairy. And another common myth about vegetarianism is that it's very expensive. But contrary to popular belief, shopping locally and looking in the right places in your supermarkets can really cut down on the cost of a vegetarian diet, especially getting a lot of bulk leafy greens If you look here at choosemyplate.gov, it's the new, they've done away with the food pyramid and moved over to food plate. Vegetables take up the majority, protein the smallest part, and fruits and grains as well on at the top, with a side of dairy. So you can see that proteins take up a very small portion of your diet. And another common myth about vegetarianism is that it's a boring diet, but there are so many resources on the internet in cookbooks like this Forest Feast here, and the author of this book has also placed a link to their food blog, which is theforestfeast.com, where all of their recipes are available, and they're all really tasty. I can speak from experience. So we've covered the health benefits of a vegetarian diet, how a meat-centric diet has a large environmental impact, and how a vegetarian diet is more ethically conscious than that of a meat-centered diet. We've gone over some plans of action and debunked some myths about vegetarianism. So I implore you guys to go out and either try and make a full switch to vegetarianism or try and reduce your red meat consumption or processed meat consumption. You can try something like meatless Mondays, or just pick one day of the week where you don't eat meat, or one meal of the day where you don't eat meat consistently, and then see the health benefits of it and start making a progressive switch to vegetarianism. Thank you for your time.